Hello to all of my crafty loving friends. My name is Jenna and welcome to a bit of a project diary vlog sort of situation. Like most people, I have way too many projects on the go, like way too many. It's actually ridiculous. But I really wanted to make the Wishbone Sweater by Kutova Kika, which I will pop a little shot up here of what it looks like. It's a cable sweater. It's probably far beyond my skill level, but I absolutely love it. So I decided that I was going to make that sweater, but I had to finish a project first, and I finally did it. Cheer for me, yay. This that I am wearing here, this is the Coffee Run sweater from Kutova Kika's newest book, Knits to Wear. It is knit in stockinette. It's got this really cool detailing down at the raglan increases. I started this at Christmas time and I finished it a week and a half ago, I think. A really long time. That said, I wasn't working on it constantly. When I really buckled down and got to it, I finished everything from like underarm, the whole thing, all the sleeves in 3 weeks, I think. I work full time, so I think that's pretty good. So I ended up doing this in a yarn called The Wind Cries Merino. There we go. The Wind Cries Merino by Abbey Road. For my Australian friends, that is one you can get from Spotlight. And it's super airy, it's super light, so soft and snuggly. I want it to work. I really love it. So I'm really happy that I finished this. One, because I now have a jumper that I can wear, but two, because I can start a new project. I know there's nothing stopping me from starting a new project, but I kind of wanted to have achieved something or finish something, because I haven't finished something in such a long time. I did a whip video a little while ago. I don't think I've finished a single one of those projects. Whoops. So anyway, the Wishbone Sweater. I have my pattern printed here, which I'm not going to go into super detail of, obviously, because this is a paid pattern, but I will link it down below. I usually get all of my patterns from Kika from Ravelry, but she does have her own website. And I did pick up her Knits to Wear book, which is absolutely stunning, and I love it. Hello, Chicky boy. Say hello. Chicky just had a haircut the other day because Dog Friendly Co. reached out to me to see if I would like to receive one of their harnesses in exchange for some content. So he got a nice haircut ready for his video. And I now have a discount for Dog Friendly Co. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, so this is Chicky. He's looking out the window because I have it open to get the light. So for yarn for this pattern, the pattern recommends Sunday's yarn. Yep. That word I can't say. Double Sunday, held together with Knitting for Olive's soft silk merino. They're not impossible to get in Australia, but the cost of them makes them pretty much not worth it. So I opted for a bit of yarn magic and replaced it with something that based on the weights and yardage and whatever would work. And of course I did a gauge swatch. So I have been tossing up knitting this pattern for a really long time. I bought this probably 12 months ago plus, in the hopes that one day I would find a yarn that I liked enough to actually make the thing, and probably one that I could get in Australia. I am a really big fan of Bendigo Woolen Mills. It's an Australian woolen mill based out of Bendigo. Shocking, right? But they make a really huge range of Aussie wool. And I have used their luxury 4-ply, I think it was, to make a Hooked on Sunshine blanket for a co-worker for a baby gift, and it turned out absolutely beautifully. And I've got a couple of balls of different bits and pieces for some other projects that I'm working on. But recently I got an email saying that Bendigo Woolen Mills was now stocking mohair. So this is Bendigo Woolen Mills Lilt. It is a 70% mohair, 30% silk blend, and it comes in a range of colors. I do believe a lot of them are currently sold out. it went pretty quick. So this is not made in Australia, but it is made in Italy specifically for Bendigo woolen mills. And based on the pattern and everything, this is pretty similar to Knitting for Olive's soft silk mohair. So this is the color chiffon. This one here. Let me try and get some sun. It's a cream, really. It's cream. Very exciting, but it's really soft. And of course, we'll do the face test. Why not? Really, really soft. Really, really nice. So I picked up this, and then I'm holding this double with another Bendigo Woolen Mills. This is the Whisper range, and I'm holding this, this is the color Champagne. So I have chiffon and Champagne. So this appeared a little bit darker than this, but not by much. They're very much a nice cream pairing. I thought I had my gauge swatch in my little project basket, but I didn't, so I just had to go and find it. So I have learned before, don't wing a garment, do the gauge swatch. Just do the gauge swatch. So I did the gauge swatch. I'm wondering if this camera will pick this up, but you can see the halo that comes from the lilt. But this is such a beautiful, soft, squishy fabric, and I actually hit gauge on my first go, so I was really, really happy with that, which meant that I then just dove straight into the project. This is a cable sweater. I have done cables before in bulky yarn, but I've never done cables in something of this sort of size, so I was super, super intimidated, like beyond intimidated. But I thought, what better way to do it than just get in, give it a go, and see how it works out, basically. And it's going okay so far. I have so far done my gauge swatch, I've done my collar, I've done my German short rows, and I've just started my like shoulder shaping and increases, and I have just this afternoon finished my first row of cables. So let's have a look at this. So we're all attached. I have got my funky little yarn keepers here, my various stitch markers. So I really enjoy these stitch keepers so things don't fall off, because I would be devastated if I lost these stitches. So here we are so far with my collar. I've done my German short rows, and I've just started on my cables here. We can sort of see them starting to pick up. I'm 5 rows into my shoulder shaping, and there's 46, and the dog's very impressed with something. I had a lot of trouble with the cable needle that I was using. I think I have it here. Hold on. I don't have it with me, but I was using one of those like U-shaped ones where the stitches sort of sit in the middle. And I was finding it really difficult because with the way that these cables go, because it's a pearl knit through the back loop repeat, like twisted rib the whole way through, when you do your 4-3 cross cable, you have to slip the back stitch back over to the left needle before you then knit the other 3 from the... Anyway, you can read a bit more about it in Kika's video about the pattern if you're really interested, but that just meant that when I was trying to move the stitches around, it was getting really difficult to do. So I sucked it up today and I went and bought some new cable needles. I was really hoping to get some like longer ones, but I did manage to pick up these Knit Pro Symphony wooden cable needles. So this is a 4mm US size 6. Their pack also came with a 5.5mm and I think a 3mm cable needle, and they're all this like shorter sort of size here. But I did one half of this cable row with the old cable needle, and then I did the second half with this cable needle, and this is so much easier. So much easier. It's like incredible, the difference, really. And I can't get over how red my skin is today. I've been to the gym and it wiped me out a little bit, so I'm not sorry. That's just how my face looks today, so we'll just run with it. So along with my love of craft and creativity and all those things, I am at my core a maths person. Ooh. I'm an accountant by day. So one of the things I decided to do with this project, which I actually picked up from a wonderful lady on TikTok whose name I cannot remember for the life of me, but I'm sure somebody will know. She tracks her knitting projects, how long it takes her to do the entire project, and then she then splits her like costs into cost per hour that it takes her to make something. Does that make sense? Honey Chicken is having a lot of fun squeaking his toys, so apologies. But if she spent, say for example, $100 on yarn and it takes her 100 hours to make a project, then essentially it's only cost her $1 per hour in materials to make that project, sort of thing. So the yarn for this cost me, I want to say that it was about 150 Aussie dollars, I think. And I know that I got too much because dye lots, availability, all that sort of crap. I didn't want to have to worry about getting to the end of my project and panicking. So I definitely went a little bit overboard on the yarn. I 100% am aware of that. I bought 3 of these 400 gram balls, or 200 gram balls, sorry, of Whisper, which is 400 meters a ball. Did I buy 3 or 4? 3. I bought 3 of them, and I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 balls of the lilt to go along with it. I think so. I can't remember, to be perfectly honest. I did get the yarn a little while ago, but I thought that I would err on the side of caution and get more than I needed, because if I end up with enough left over, I can make a matching scarf or maybe a matching beanie or something. I don't know. But I would rather have too much than not enough. So really my plan with this now is to keep working on it, and I'll do a check-in in a couple of weeks, I suppose, and see sort of how far I'm coming along. I am under no delusions that this will be a quick project, because I know that it's not going to be. It's a mammoth undertaking for me. I still consider myself to be very much a beginner knitter, and this is definitely not a beginner-friendly project. But that said, I'm sort of plodding my way through. I'm getting there. I decided to knit the 2X to 3XL size because I don't like super tight sweaters. I get really, really cold. So for me, the ability to layer is pretty important. But of course, for those of us that knit, knitting a bigger size means it's a bigger time investment, and it's a bigger investment in the cost of yarn as well. But you know, we work with what we've got. But so far, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. It's really, really soft, and I don't think it's going to be itchy. This one I'm wearing now is not itchy at all, which I'm really impressed with. So I really hope that but like, it's so nice. I keep taking this to my partner. I'm like, look, feel how soft it is. And I think he thinks I'm insane. So that's okay. But I am tracking how long I have spent on this. So far for my gauge swatch, which was a little bit of, sort of getting to know the pattern, how it works, the feel of the needles, the feel of the yarn, all that sort of stuff. That took me 2 hours, 16 minutes and 40 seconds to make this, which is kind of horrifying when you think of it. I know that as I was getting towards the end of this, I was so keen for it to be done. I was like, go, 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 go. Like, I need it to be over. But I got this done. I blocked this, let it all dry nicely, did my measurements, and bang, on gauge, which I was really, really excited about because I really didn't want to have to do it again. So I was really happy with that. So knitting the collar, which was about 5 centimeters. Yep, about 5 centimeters of the same 1x1 twisted rib pattern. That took me 2 hours, 43 minutes and 41 seconds. I always find when I'm knitting in the round that my first couple of rows are really, really slow because I'm trying to like make sure nothing's twisted. I'm trying to make sure that everything is looking right. I'm not missing stitches. I've got the pattern set up properly and all that sort of stuff. The short rows, so there were 13 short rows to be completed, and that took me 1 hour, 47 minutes and 44 seconds. Which this is only the 3rd time I've ever done short rows, and still every single time I look at them I have to go back to a YouTube video about like how to do a short row, how to do a double stitch, how to do this, how to do that. The sun just went behind a cloud, sorry about that. So I have my favorite videos about like German short rows and make one lefts and make one rights, because like I know the concept, but I still look at make one right and I'm like, which one is that? Is that in from the back or in from the front? I don't know. I actually now have it written on my pattern what an M1R and M1L is, so I don't forget. So I have been tracking the shoulder shaping as well. So I've only done 5 rows, as I said. So I think I've only spent like an hour and a bit on it. I wonder if I can actually check that without this video cutting out. Let me see. So yeah, so I just had a bit of a look, and so far on my shoulder shaping, it's been an hour and 19 minutes. So I'm already, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 5, 7 and a bit hours in, and this is what I've got to show for it. So I'm really interested to get to the end of this and sort of see exactly how long it takes to make a full garment, because every time I wear anything that I make, there's always someone who's like, oh, can you make me one? Like, sure, I'll make you one. Do you want to pay for it? Oh, I'll pay for the yarn. You'll pay for the yarn? Thank you. Yep, I love that. There are some people that I would knit a whole garment for. I mean, like my mum, for one. Like, mum's got scarves. Mum's got a jumper that I've made. That's fine. Like, that's my mum, you know. But like co-workers, oh, you know, oh yeah, I'll pay for the yarn. Like, okay, this thing is realistically going to take me, so what, it's already been 7 hours. I think I'll be lucky if I get this done in less than 80. Like, who's going to want to pay minimum wage times 80 hours plus materials for a jumper? Like, this is why I'm making it for myself. But that said, like, with this, to me, this project is something that I will wear until it literally falls apart. Like, an heirloom piece. Am I allowed to say that for like a knitting project? And as someone who doesn't have kids, I don't know. It's an heirloom piece to me. Like, I am so excited to get to the end of this and to be able to wear it, which probably is not going to be until next winter. But I don't know. I have a week and a bit of leave coming up. So maybe I will just knit the entire time. I don't know. We'll see. My partner and I are going away for a little bit, but not for the whole time. So hopefully I'll be able to take it. But we will be flying, but I don't think I will be able to knit on the plane because I get motion sick as it is, and I'm also really scared that they will take my needles, and I don't want to have to put up with that, so I probably won't worry about that. So I think I probably rambled on long enough about my new project. We'll again just feel this because it's so soft. It's so soft. I'm so excited. So far my takeaways from this is that the pattern is really well written. Like, it's very, very easy to read. I did watch the video that Kika has on this pattern. I think I watched it twice, just to make sure that I had like my workflow and everything organized, and that I wasn't sort of going off in the wrong direction. That video is also really good because it has the M1L, M1R, like explanations in there. It's also got the explanations on the cables, because the cables that I've done before were just 2 cross cables. So I didn't have to like shuffle sort of stitches around, and they were all just like stockinette. So much easier in comparison to this. But I feel like you can immediately see these cables. Like, you can see it straight away. Maybe this way is better. But you can see the cable straight away, whereas the one that I've done before, it really wasn't until the next row you could actually really, really tell that there was cabling sort of happening. But yeah, so I am having a lot of fun with this. I think I'm going to do some sort of like more frequent check-ins on TikTok when I like maybe finish a ball of yarn, for example, but probably not one of the big balls, because, you know, that'll be every 6 years, but more likely whenever I get to the end of one of these, because these have, what have these got? This is 210 meters. So yeah, I think I'll do a check-in whenever I get to the end of one of these, and we'll see like just how far through the garment one of these gets. Yeah, I think that's the plan. So that's my current in progress knitting whip. I've also got a shawl by Stephen West on the needles, which I was working on that pretty intensely until I decided that I really wanted to do this when that new yarn was released, and that's when I decided I'd finish this jumper and then jump into this one. So I have got that on the needles at the moment. I also crochet, as some of you may know, so I have a custom request for one of my mum's friends. I used to make a lot of sort of crochet stuffies, and I had made this lovely lady a pink one for the birth of her daughter a number of years ago, and she's since had a little boy, so they've asked me if I can do a matching blue one for her son. So I have that to finish off at some point relatively soon. I'm still working on the Hooked on Sunshine 4 blanket. I haven't touched that for a long time. I got to a row, like it's pretty big at this point, like it's probably about that wide. So I mean, I could finish it if I want to, but I bought an absolute bucket load of yarn for that, and I am intending to use all of it. So probably should pull my finger out and work on that a little bit more. But as a rule, I haven't really touched crochet for a while. I recently signed up to Arcane Fiberworks monthly mystery skein. It is, well, I picked the fingering weight skein because I'm sort of toying around with the idea of making socks. So we'll see. But I got the first one a couple of weeks ago and it's absolutely stunning. I've already balled it up, otherwise I would grab it and show you guys. But it is so beautiful and it's so soft and the dye is just beautiful. So if you haven't seen them before, check them out. For my Aussie friends, the subscription I think is only about $38 a month Aussie, which I mean that's probably a lot, but coming from someone who used to have like 2 or 3 book subscriptions every month, $40 a month is basically nothing. So I don't have those anymore, by the way. I decided that the return on that really wasn't where I wanted it to be. So back to yarn at the moment. But yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. So I would love to know what projects you guys are working on. I would love to know if any of you have ever made the Wishbone Sweater. Can we comment photos on YouTube? Is that a thing? Because I would love to see them. I know they're on Ravelry and I've looked at a lot of them on Ravelry, but you know. But yeah, if you've ever made this, or if you've ever made any sort of cabled sweater, some tips and tricks would be fantastic, because I'm kind of a bit scared about these cables as the garment gets bigger, because again, I'll pop a picture of it up here, but the cables go the whole way through the project, like the entire body, the entire sleeves, like everything is cables, which is one of the reasons why I liked it in the first place. But yeah, it's a little bit intimidating, but you know, we'll get there. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me and listening to me ramble on and having Honey Chicken visit. I'm very surprised that the cats didn't come and visit because they could hear me talking, but you know, we'll be fine. Just found a random dog toy under the edge of the bed that's been missing for a little while, so anyway. But with that, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.